What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video on today. It is the Keeping It Raw podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Click that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into our installment. All right, guys, I have 4 receivers coming out of the 2024 NFL draft class that I think that the Detroit Lions could target. It is a lot of receivers this year coming out. A lot of good receivers are coming out this year. And I got 4 guys that I think that would take Detroit Lions offense over the top and to the next level. And one of those guys being Troy Franklin from Oregon, Rome Odunze from Washington, Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, and Keon Coleman, formerly from Michigan State and transferred to Florida State. Definitely, man, these guys right here are top-notch receivers. And right now, Detroit is having a problem with Jameson Williams, with the catching and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on with J-Mo. Maybe this is something that can be corrected. And I'm not saying that the Lions are going to actually do this, but I'm just saying these are 4 guys that they could target in the draft that's going to take them to the next level. Keon Coleman, a big body receiver at 6'4", 215 pounds, and is definitely one of the best receivers outside of Marvin Harrison. I didn't bring up Marvin Harrison because I think that Marvin Harrison is going to be in the top 3. I think he's going to be a top 3 selection in the 2024 NFL draft class. So that's why I did not bring up Marvin Harrison. And then I do know about his teammate as well. But Detroit, to me, needs a bigger body receiver. And all these guys that I mentioned, they have speed. Keon Coleman has been clocked at a 4.4. Also with Rome Odunze from Washington, who's Michael Penix Jr. favorite weapon. He runs a 4.4. He stands at about 6'3", 215 pounds. And then not only that, you got Troy Franklin, who is a burner, who runs a 4.3 and stands at 6'3", 187 pounds. Only thing about Troy Franklin, he's going to have to put on a little bit more weight, but he is fluid. He's full of speed, very twitchy, and he can breeze by defenders. Kind of reminds you of a taller Jameson Williams, but this dude can flat out ball and flat out play. And then Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, who stands at 6'3", 210 pounds and runs a 4.3 as well. This dude is definitely box office too. Got a chance to see Brendan Rice against Colorado and in a few other games because I know that Brendan Rice did play with Colorado before he transferred over to USC and playing with Caleb Williams. But definitely, man, these are 4 guys in the 2024 NFL draft class that I think that the Detroit Lions should take a look at and should be interested in these guys. I know that the Lions are going to have to get better defensively. And the number one thing is for those guys to be able to grab a defensive tackle or a defensive end, somebody that has that freakish athletic ability in this year's draft that's going to help aid Aiden Hutchinson. I definitely think that he'll be able to help Hutchinson out, whoever they get, as far as whoever they draft at the defensive end position and the defensive tackle. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But these are 4 receivers. If the Jameson Williams project doesn't work with Detroit and Detroit decides to trade him or whatever they decide to do, not saying that Detroit is going to trade him, but if they decided to part ways with them, this is 4 guys that you can go and get in the 2024 NFL draft class that the Lions could take a look at. All 4 of these guys is box office. If you don't believe me, go check out their body of work and you'll understand what I'm talking about. These are the guys that I will be targeting because you're not going to get Marvin Harrison. You can forget about that. He's going to be a top 3 selection. He's definitely going to be in the top 5 out of receivers. And with the Lions playing the way that they're playing, they're not going to have a top pick this season. They're going to be somewhere in the 20s. So definitely, man, if they can get one of these guys in the second round, a couple of these guys may fall to them in the second round. You can get a Keon Coleman, who has definitely been killing it this year with Florida State. And then Rome Odunze, I love this kid. out of Washington. He's been balling this season. Troy Franklin has been balling this season. And Brandon Rice has been balling too as well for USC. And I think any of these guys would be able to help Detroit because Detroit doesn't have a number one receiver. They still, I know everybody says Amon-Ra St. Brown is the number one receiver, but pretty much Amon-Ra is a slot receiver. He's not the guy that's going to go outside and things of that nature. Now, not saying that he can't do that, but right now they kind of use him as their number one receiver because he's targeted a lot. But the Lions still need a number one receiver in Detroit. And I think that all four of these guys would be great candidates for the Detroit Lions in the 2024 NFL draft class. I like all of these guys. I love what they bring to the table. All of these guys are playmakers, and that's what the Lions need. They've been needing it for a couple seasons, and we'll see, man. I don't know what the Lions ultimately at the end of the day are going to do with Jameson Williams. He's been dropping a lot of balls, but that doesn't mean just because he's been dropping balls that they're going to give up on him. But I'm just kind of trying to get your eyes on something and to be prepared for in the draft because definitely I think that the Lions are going to take a defensive tackle and a defensive end in the draft, and those guys could be who they target first. But if you want to take somebody in the second round, all four of these guys is the candidates that I would take. Troy Franklin, Odunze, Brendan Rice, and Keon Coleman. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Until next time, peace.